No one is ever truly prepared to face the reality that someone they love might be destroyed not by enemies, but by the very system they believed was protecting them. Today, the public was shaken by a horrifying fact. Kim Taehyung, a BTS member known for his energy and dedication, is reportedly in extremely critical health condition, just as HYBE permitted him to travel by long-haul flight. A major question arises: was this negligence, ignorance, or a deliberately planned act? The fact that a global idol like Taehyung flew abroad with a body medically considered unfit for air travel not only raises concern but also anger. Even more disturbing, reports have emerged that management was aware of his condition before departure, but still pushed for high-risk international activities that could endanger his health. In such a situation, the public cannot remain silent and blindly accept professional narratives meant to cover up this alarming discrepancy. Initial evidence circulating in the army community suggests that prior to departure, Taehyung experienced a drastic physical decline. He appeared pale, his steps were unsteady, and some fans even claimed they saw him nearly collapse at the airport. Strangely, not a single staff member or bodyguard reacted appropriately to his condition. Does this mean they were used to seeing him unwell? Or were they already aware but chose to remain silent? Shouldn't a sick artist be exempted from such a long journey? Why was there no preventive action? Why was the flight allowed to proceed? Another shocking revelation came from an anonymous medical worker who stated that Taehyung's condition should be classified as unfit to fly. This relates to potential complications during flight, from oxygen saturation drops, unstable blood pressure, to the risk of blood clots due to prolonged sitting. In Taehyung's case, allegedly suffering from autonomic nervous system disorder, allowing him to fly could be extremely dangerous, even fatal. If this information is accurate, then this is not mere negligence, but a conscious disregard for human health. Even more horrifying is the timing of the diagnosis. Sources within the international fan community stated that Taehyung's medical report was leaked to overseas fans just hours after landing. The report allegedly revealed that he was suffering from neurovegetative disorders known for weeks. But why was he still allowed to appear in public? Why was there no action to halt all his activities, even temporarily? Is this due to commercial pressure outweighing the value of human life? HYBE has yet to release an official response. However, their silence only deepens suspicion. Netizens have begun questioning whether Taehyung truly has control over his schedule, or if everything is tightly managed by his agency, even when his body is clearly struggling. Furthermore, a narrative has emerged suggesting this trip was not something Taehyung personally wanted, but rather part of a strategy forcing him to appear for the sake of the company's image. If this is true, then the case sets a dangerous precedent on how the Korean entertainment industry treats their artists as production tools, not as human beings. A 38-second video that went viral on Twitter shows Taehyung appearing disoriented upon arriving at the destination airport. He was holding his chest, visibly short of breath, and walking unsteadily. Within seconds, he leaned against a wall before staff assisted him into a car. No smile, no interaction with fans, no sign he was ready for whatever was scheduled. That scene, though brief, was enough to traumatize ARMY, who have always seen him as a strong figure who always smiled. The fact that no official channel has openly addressed this condition only strengthens the suspicion that information is being controlled. If Taehyung truly is in critical condition, and if management knew prior to the flight, then this constitutes a very serious manipulation. A human being's journey during a medical emergency should not become a promotional tool under any circumstances. At this point, the question is no longer, was this a mistake, but how much did they know, and why did they let it happen? The international fan community is starting to speak out. Many demand full transparency regarding Taehyung's medical condition and call for him to be pulled from all activities. Yet this pressure seems insufficient to reveal what's really happening behind the scenes. Some theories claim HYBE is manipulating public perception by releasing old photos or edited footage to make it appear Taehyung is doing fine. But is that truly the same face and body caught on fan cameras? Aren't there too many discrepancies in expression, posture, and even the clothes he's wearing? Among all the speculation, The most shocking claim is that Taehyung may be recovering from an undisclosed medical procedure. Some Reddit and X, Twitter, users claim to have spotted signs in recent photos, a small scar around his wrist that was never seen before. Is this from Infor? Or a sign of something more serious? As more questions arise, one undeniable fact remains. Taehyung has become a victim of the system. Does he even know what's happening to his body? Was he given a fair choice to decline the trip? And if he did agree, was that decision made with full mental and physical awareness? ARMY weeps not just out of concern for Taehyung's health, but out of helplessness in seeing their idol forced to endure burdens he should never have to bear alone. Behind his faint smile lies a pain that cannot be understood through a short video or an Instagram post. Taehyung is not just an artist. He is a human being trapped in a system that demands perfection even in suffering. This article is not written to spread fear, but to open the public's eyes to the real risks faced by an artist we love. If we let this pass without pressure, without questions, we are allowing the industry to destroy someone's life slowly. And if HYBE indeed knew all of this yet allowed it, then this is not merely medical neglect. This is exploitation that must be addressed by the international community. We don't know how severe Taehyung's condition truly is. We don't know if what the camera captured is just a fraction of a more terrifying reality. But one thing is certain. Someone must be held accountable. And until that accountability comes, this question will echo in the minds of millions of ARMY around the world. What really happened to Kim Taehyung? And why did no one dare stop it in time? If, at his most vulnerable, an artist is left to bear the greatest risk, the public has every right to ask, who is in control and for whose benefit is a human's health being gambled? When Kim Taehyung was instructed or pressured to board a commercial plane in reportedly critical condition, public common sense was forced to work harder than ever before. The sharpest question now resounding is, was this truly an accident or part of a silent strategy to exploit the fame and suffering of an artist for a particular gain? It's hard to separate emotion from analysis when watching short clips showing Taehyung's weakened body, barely able to support itself. The immediate reaction among ARMY was widespread sorrow, anger, and powerlessness. But beneath all that lies one fundamental question that must not be ignored. Is all this truly happening as it appears? Or are we part of a larger narrative game? Is this really a case of systematic exploitation of an idol, or a more sophisticated form of media manipulation exploiting public sympathy for hidden interests? When information comes from platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, media known for their viral speed but lack of accuracy, we cannot ignore the possibility that part of what we see, read, and feel may have been framed to create a specific impact. Is Taehyung truly in critical health? Or is this merely an impression crafted through camera angles, selective editing, and emotional narratives designed to steer mass opinion? If so, who benefits from this uproar? Video footage, image clips, and widespread testimonials show suspicious signs, but is there concrete evidence that has been independently verified by medical experts or neutral institutions? If not, then the public may be facing the possibility that their empathy is being manipulated. Beyond that, could this be part of a calculated strategy to draw renewed attention to a certain artist, or even to the company managing him? We must admit that in today's digital age, virality has become a commodity. The global public no longer relies on conventional media, and information now spreads faster via algorithms than through official reports. Yet behind this information freedom lies a serious threat: the creation of convincing false realities. If the public cannot filter information with critical and skeptical thinking, then it's very likely that this tragedy, if truly fabricated, has already achieved its goal. It would be ironic if someone's suffering were used to drive public opinion. Yet we must not rush to accuse, nor be naive in believing. Therefore, we must confront one serious question. Is it true that Kim Taehyung is in a medically dangerous condition? And if so, who bears full responsibility for decisions that worsen the situation? Or are we simply consuming raw information crafted to look like tragedy? We must realize that the public, in large numbers, is easily swayed by collective emotion. Celebrity health issues, especially those involving fanatical bases like BTS, are fertile ground for conspiracy theories, moral panic, and digital chaos that may be baseless. Thus, a very urgent question must be asked. Are our reactions so far truly based on truth, or on fear shaped by viral content? Why has no party transparently disclosed Taehyung's full medical chronology? Why is all information fragmented, seemingly leaked to create a puzzle? If this data is truly important and involves someone's life, why choose silence? And if it is a strategy, then who is behind it? Who is playing with mass psychology and manipulating global attention? In dealing with reality sourced from social media, society must develop one essential skill: critical reflection. Not everything that feels moving is real. Not everything viral reflects truth. Behind every post lies an intent. So, what is the hidden intent behind all these clips of a sick Taehyung? Who benefits if the public believes he is in critical condition? And if this information turns out to be false, who will be held accountable for the psychological trauma inflicted on millions of fans? We are not in a position to confirm or deny the authenticity of all this information. The only thing we can do is state that all data used in this article comes from public observations, short videos circulating on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube channels, as well as netizen testimonies that cannot be fully verified. Therefore, it is a moral responsibility for readers not to believe every detail written here, without thinking twice. Do not let yourself become a victim of uncontrolled collective emotion. If all this is real, then the public must urge management to provide a full explanation and restore Taehyung's condition humanely. But if it turns out to be mere sensationalism, then the world has witnessed one of the greatest emotional exploitations in modern entertainment history. In either scenario, the public remains a victim of manipulation, ignorance, and the entertainment machine that never stops turning tragedy into spectacle. Therefore, we invite you, the readers, to reflect once more. Do you truly believe that Kim Taehyung is in an extremely concerning medical condition? Or do you suspect this is part of a grand scenario designed to draw global empathy and attention? Do you feel you've seen enough evidence to believe this narrative? Or do you feel you're being served a drama too neatly staged to be coincidence? It is time we all stop being passive consumers of sensational content. Let us become a society not only driven by emotion, but guided by reason. If we fail to do this, we reinforce an unhealthy information ecosystem, one that continues to sacrifice emotion, time, and even public mental health for certain profits. We will not conclude whether Taehyung is truly sick or not, nor will we determine who is guilty or innocent. But we will continue asking critical questions that should also arise in your mind. Why is all this happening now? What is the motive behind this narrative? Could this be a distraction from a bigger issue within the artist's management? And if it is a diversion, what is being hidden? As long as no medically and logically verifiable clarity is provided, all of this must remain categorized as speculation, and the public deserves to know the boundary between reality and fiction in the information they consume. Until that moment arrives, you as a reader have a responsibility not to spread this information without critical annotation. We invite you to discuss, question, even challenge if you find parts of this narrative unreasonable. But one thing you must not do: do not believe just because you feel sad. Believe because you have thought that a reflective and skeptical attitude is not a sign of indifference. On the contrary, it is the highest form of care for the truth. And in a world where reality and sensation blur, such an attitude is our only defense. So, once again we ask, do you really know what is happening to Kim Taehyung? Or do you only know what you're being shown? We leave it all to you. Don't stop questioning. Don't stop thinking. Don't let your sympathy become a commodity.